This is a drill centre finder. You can pick these up on eBay. They're only about £6 to buy. These are very useful if you ever need to drill down the dead centre of a shaft or any round piece of material. There are several ways to mark and drill the centre in that direction. If you want to drill the centre that way, the best way of doing that is by using a bell punch, which I have covered in another video. For the sake of spending £6 on one of these, it is well worth it because these can save you a lot of time and they are fairly accurate. So if you ever need to drill down the centre of anything that is round, such as round bar or a piece of tube or a piece of round wood, you can quite easily do it by using one of these. Obviously you're going to need a pillar drill to do this, and you do need to ensure that if the base is movable, that it is square to the actual drill bit. This will work on various diameters, and I've got some bar that is approximately 20mm there. You can see that it will work on that, absolutely no problem at all. And it will also work on larger diameter pipe, etc. So to use this, we need to fix it into the chuck of the pillar drill. You can then take a vise, place that on there. In this example, I'm going to drill through this aluminium tube. So I'm just going to clamp that in there, ensuring that it is square. So that tube is now firmly clamped in the vise. We now just need to move that down to the workpiece, and you can see that in the centre there is a line and a line on the shaft. We need to touch both sides of the centre finder and ensure that the line in the centre is aligned with the centre above. So if I press that down on there, you can see that that is actually perfectly aligned. If that was to the side slightly, like so, you can see that the two lines are not aligned, which is incorrect. We need to get those perfectly aligned. Once we've got it to that position, we then know that we are in the exact centre of that tube. So I'm just going to tighten up the vise in that position to stop it from moving. And then we're just going to check that again to ensure that the vise has not moved. And that is still in the correct position. We can now undo the chuck. And then I'm just going to insert a centre drill. And that will just ensure that we get the drill started correctly. So I can now put some safety glasses on. We can now start the drill. And then we can proceed to drill the hole. We can now remove the centre drill. We can then install the drill bit. And then we can proceed to drill the hole. And I'd just like to say thank you to a few people who have been translating the titles and descriptions for some of my videos. That is really helpful, so thanks a lot to those people who have been doing that. Let me move that from the vise. You can see that we have a hole going all the way through the centre of that. So for the sake of spending £6, that is a very useful device if you need to drill the centre of any round material such as a shaft through a machine or anything like that. So I just thought I'd take a bit of time out just to show you that. It is a very useful piece of kit for the money. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already.